Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to East Gymnasium, the setting for our fourth broadcast of the day. This is a non-public affair as St. Mary's, the Gales, 12-2 on the season, are taking on the Dwight Englewood Bulldogs, 8-6 on the season. 3 winners so far today. Westwood back in game number 1. Then in game number 2, Ridgewood. Most recently, Pascack Hills held off host Fort Lee. And now about to get going here with game number 4. Just starting a little behind schedule due to the last game going a little longer. Dwight Englewood will be the roadside. They are in their navy blue, while in the home white with the royal blue is St. Mary's. 20 combined wins between these two teams this season. And the opening tip is won by Dwight Englewood. Quickly going down the other way, a little off balance, but feeding his teammate. There was Evan Brown, found Nick Balakian. As Balakian gets the first 2 points of the game, Dwight Englewood on top, 2-0. Bulldogs are trying to snap a 3-game losing streak on the season, while St. Mary's has won 2 in a row. Non-public B taking on non-public A here. These two sides would not meet in the postseason. Non-public B for the smaller non-public schools. Now backdoor, Balakian victimizing St. Mary's defense, and he's quickly out in front. 4 points in the game for number 2. Balakian, the senior. 4-0 start for Dwight Englewood, who come in off a 50-44 loss yesterday afternoon in Teaneck against Kennedy. It's part of the Teaneck Showcase. Good post move inside. Rocking his defender to sleep was Victor Torres. Torres' first 2 points of the ball game. Full court pressure being administered here by St. Mary. .6:45 left to go in the first quarter of play. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dan Long, joined alongside by Renee Matisich and Dimitri Nanis. And they're going to say last touch off of St. Mary's as that looked like from the naked eye it might have been off the hands of Evan Brown. That possession stays here with the Bulldogs. Balakian tries to continue his hot start, missed on the 3. Torres tried to race after it, and it's going to be last touch, they say, off of Dwight Englewood last. So even though Torres was still racing after it, they said that it caromed out of bounds before he can even get that chance. St. Mary defeated Hasbrook Heights 67-53 in their last game on Friday, while Dwight Englewood, as I mentioned, lost to Kennedy yesterday afternoon. Torres inside. A little off balance there as the defender was trying to kind of pull the chair out from underneath him. But Torres draws the contact and in the process will gain 2 shot opportunities at the foul line. First foul of the game for either team gets charged against Dwight Englewood. Torres short on the first foul shot opportunity. Had a double-double in his last game, 15 points, 10 rebounds against Hasbrook Heights. On the season, 8 points per game, 8.9 rebounds per contest for the 6'8 junior. Misses on a pair. Again, Dwight Englewood in the navy blue. In the home white is St. Mary. Balakian lulling his defender to sleep, and he just reversed the layup. He's making it look easy here. 6 points in the early goings for number 2 for Dwight Englewood. 6-2 advantage for the Bulldogs. Luke Gaccioni with a handoff now to Mir Stone. Stone, who leads the team in assists, steals, and blocks per game, number 2. Hobbled a little bit in that corner, holding on to his ankle. Might have rolled it up last time he was on the floor in defense. He is clearly laboring in pain. Long range 3, no good. Torres trying to pop it out. Stone gets the loose ball rebound. He's going to be trying to play through that pain. Here's a corner 3 ball for St. Mary, no good. Again, a tip in on the offensive glass. It's Julian Lavelle. St. Mary's with 3 different opportunities there on the offensive boards. 6-4 lead now for Dwight Englewood. As we come up on 3 minutes gone by here in the first quarter. Into the corner for Jack Park, but Park shuffled his feet. It's going to lead to the turnover. And possession going back over to St. Mary. St. Mary's 12-2 on the season, average 65 points per game, allowing only 44 per contest. They've won their first 8 games of the season before losing for the first time on January 9th against Saddle River Day. Step back, corner jumper. Skying for the rebound and securing it is Dwight Englewood and Jackson Burke. Balakian blocked at the rim by Torres. Here comes St. Mary's the other way. The Gales in transition, high off the glass and good for Luke Gaccione. Tie ball game, 6-6. The 5'10 junior guard, number 10, Luke Gaccione, is the team's leading scorer, averaging 12.7 points per game. Balakian trying to maneuver his team around to the offensive end. Park with the extra pass. Burke didn't want to shoot it. Midway point of the first quarter, 6-6 ball game. Only non-public showdown in this Bergen County showcase. Step back jumper, no good. That time by Jack Sama. Good rebound underneath by Torres. Gaccione trying to get it down low on the block to Torres. Torres just tries to save it, but in doing so, there's a collision that ensues, and it looks like it's going to be a loose ball foul against St. Mary's. One in terms of fouls for both teams. Sama across the lane, up and under, missed the layup. The presence of Torres looming large. Now St. Mary's in the open floor. Here's Gaccione. Laying it off for Lynn Santos, the freshman who's coming to the game after Stone was laboring. Long range three again. St. Mary's not able to find that outside shooting touch just yet. Over the back foul against the Gales as well. That'll be the second team foul. 3:08 left to go here in the first quarter. St. Mary coming into this game ranked third in North non-public B power points behind St. Thomas Aquinas and Gill St. Bernard's. That is a loaded bracket. Yeah, it's the likes of Immaculate Conception, Montclair, Roselle Catholic, just to name a few. Dwight Englewood, 8th in power points in North non-public A. And that has the likes of Bergen Catholic, Don Bosco Prep, St. Peter's Prep, and Seton Hall Prep. A doozy of their own bracket. Good extra pass, finding a man inside, and lurking inside was Raymond Valdez. Valdez's first 2 points gives Dwight Englewood back the lead at 8-6. Under 3 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Torres will retrieve the pass. St. Mary has not led in this game just yet. And that's going to be ruled an offensive foul. Moving screen. As LJ Falcone was trying to get a little separation at the top of the key, but again, a moving screen benefited him. So now it's going to be 2:25 left to go in the first quarter. 8-6 lead for Dwight Englewood. Trying to bounce back after leading in their game yesterday early against Kennedy, but then kind of fell apart in the second half as the Knights outlasted them by 6. Dwight Englewood trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Inside, maneuvering with a one-hand push shot finished by Evan Brown. 10-6 lead for Dwight Englewood. Under 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter of play. What an athletic play there by Evan Brown. Brown had a season-high 31 against Immaculate Conception Montclair, and Brown skies for the rebound as well. There's a reach-in foul whistled against Stone. That'll be the third team foul against St. Mary. A season ago, St. Mary went 21-7 overall, advanced to the North non-public B quarterfinals before losing to Saddle River Day. Dwight Englewood, very similar, went 21-5 before losing to Paramus Catholic in the sectional quarterfinals. The other way, St. Mary's going up for it, and Gaccione got fouled on the right side. .127 left in the first quarter, and that'll send Luke Gaccione to the line shooting 2. 8 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists performance last time out against Hasbrook Heights on January 20th. Swishes the first foul shot. Second foul shot also good. Gaccione now with 4 points in the first. 10-8 lead for Dwight Englewood. Under 90 seconds left to go here in the first quarter of play. East Gymnasium has been the setting for this first ever Bergen County Showcase. Quick shot in the corner, three-pointer off the mark. Gaccione with the outlet. Now gives it to his teammate. Oh, unselfish find in the open floor. Caleb Brown, the beneficiary of that pass. And it's a 4-0 spurt here to now deadlock the game at 10-10 with under a minute left to go in the first quarter. Balakian getting hounded, nearly turning it over. Nice up and under, but left the layup short on the reverse side was Evan Brown. Now St. Mary's looking to attack in the open floor, no good. Torres cleans up the miss. And St. Mary now has their first lead of the game, 12-10. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Victor Torres with 4. Into the corner, Evan Brown. Brown's pass stolen away by Demir Stone. Stone ranging high and gets the easy 2. 14-10 lead now for St. Mary's. An 8-0 run here near the end of the quarter for the Gales. 5 seconds remaining in the quarter. Balakian across the lane, tried the left-hander, and that doesn't fall, and St. Mary's has taken a 14-10 lead after the first 8 minutes of play. Stick around as we'll be back for the start of the second quarter as you're watching all the action here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. St. Mary getting the advantage there at the end of the quarter to take a 14-10 lead with them into the start of the second quarter of action. Luke Gaccione and Victor Torres each with 4 points apiece. Nick Balakian leading Dwight Englewood, scoring with 6 of his team's 10. That pass off the mark as Stone was looking for a cutter coming around the pick. That's thrown out of bounds for the turnover. St. Mary's trying to get to their 13th win of the season in 15 games. Dwight Englewood 8-6. And knowing that they have a gauntlet of games on the horizon as well. That one is blocked at the rim by Torres. Torres trying to wrestle it away. Loose ball tie-up. Possession arrow will keep the ball here for Dwight Englewood. Last meeting between these two schools came in 2013. St. Mary's won 64-53. That's going to be a backcourt violation. Dwight Englewood was trying to plead their case for deflection, but that deflection never came. Turnover and possession now over to the Gales. Dwight Englewood The next couple games have to play at Bergen Catholic and then at Hudson Catholic. That is not an easy stretch. And there's a three ball. Knocked in by Luke Gaccioni. First three of the game for either team. Gaccioni now up to 7 in the first half. St. Mary's lead continues to grow. 11-0 run in this contest after Dwight Englewood had taken a 10-6 advantage. Nice feed inside, and that time stripped on his way up was Addison Leak, number 14. And Leak will earn a trip to the foul line. That is the 15th foul against St. Mary. Leak too strong in his first foul shot attempt. He'll be awarded a second opportunity. Bulldogs have began their season winning their first 3 games, but have gone 4-4 since the new year, including 3 straight losses. And Leak gets the shooter roll there. Goes 1 of 2 at the line, his first point of the game. That stops the 11-0 run. 17-11. St. Mary's on top of Dwight Englewood. Pass into the corner, Stone off the dribble. Dwight Englewood was trying to draw the charge, and it looks like it might be a blocking call. Man wasn't there just in time to get stationary and make the play, so it's going to be a blocking foul, and that'll send Demir Stone, the senior guard, to the line, shooting 2. Stone, 17 points, 6 steals in the win against Hasbrook Heights recently. Stone will rattle in the first foul shot. He's got 3 in the game. Only losses this season for St. Mary's. They lost to Saddle River Day, 61-52, and Gill St. Bernard's, 53-35. Stone hits a pair. He's got 4 points now. 19-11. St. Mary's on top of Dwight Englewood. Bulldogs once again struggling offensively. Looking for an opening, but Balakian took that extra step rather than just setting and firing. He had the hot start to this game, scored 6 points in the opening minutes of this game, but he has not scored since. St. Mary's and their size really wreaking havoc right now against Dwight Englewood. Stone. Jab stepping. Passing inside, curling around. Nice block in the interior by Jackson Burke. Waited out the St. Mary's player and had the rejection inside. Up top, Sama trying to go backdoor with the pass. And it's going to be St. Mary's with the hustle play. Getting a pushing foul called against Dwight Englewood. 6:04 left to go in the second. 19-11 the lead right now for St. Mary's of Rutherford. 12-2 on the season, taking on Dwight Englewood, who's 8-6. First meeting since 2013 between these two non-public teams. Curling inside, good recovery block, but resilient effort underneath the hoop. Julian Lavelle was blocked initially and recovered after that rejection. Was able to lay it in. Now the largest lead of the game, it's 10. 21-11 St. Mary's. There's a bump foul against Lavelle. He's upset with himself. Just a little too over-aggressive that time. That's going to be the 16th foul against the Gales. So it's going to be foul shots the rest of the half upcoming for Dwight Englewood. Trying to confer at the scores table to see all the subs that are being brought into this game. Right now it still says, they just changed it, 6 fouls on the board against St. Mary's. So no more fouls to give for the Gales in this half. Dwight Englewood has scored 1 point in the second quarter. 5.5 minutes left to go before halftime. Balakian, the senior, doing a lot of dribbling. Brown. Handoff now back to Balakian. Balakian pulls up just outside the foul line and cans it. 8 points in the first half for Nick Balakian. His first 2 points of the second quarter. 21-13, a big bucket there for Dwight Englewood. And that time, contact initiated by Luke Gaccioni. That'll be the 15th foul against Dwight Englewood. Bulldogs will have 1 foul to give. Inbound upcoming now for St. Mary's. Trying to drop it down low to Torres. Took away the height advantage in the process, trying to get it to the big man who had to reach down around his shoelaces, and that trickled off him out of bounds last. 4:57 left to go in the second quarter, 21-13. St. Mary's on top of Dwight Englewood. Dwight Englewood led early, but St. Mary's has had the better of the play. Nice move to the rim. Initial miss cleaned up inside by Jackson Burke. Burke's first 2 points of the game. Dwight Englewood back to within 6, 21-15. Lost over there by Stone, but he lost it on the handle. 21-15. Just over 4 minutes left to go before halftime as we're closing in on the midway point. Evan Brown has been held to only 2 points in this game. Threw the pass away, and that leads to a turnover. Coming over to the near side corner. Now here's Stone up top. Stone trying to take his man off the dribble and does with a layup to the right-hand side. Demir Stone now with 6 points. He's the second leading scorer on this team behind Luke Gaccioni. He's 1 point behind Gaccioni as well in this game. 6 in the first half, and now it looks like it's going to be a reach-in foul against St. Mary's. And for the Gales, that is their 17th foul, meaning 1-1 upcoming now for Dwight Englewood with 3:40 left to go in our first half. Foul shot no good. Hustling in after it right in front of us. And a timeout going to be granted to Dwight Englewood, thanks to the hustle play by Miles Bland after the missed foul shot. Bland saved the possession. Timeout taken by Alex Kuchar, the head coach of Dwight Englewood. And it's going to be Bulldog possession with 23-15, the lead for St. Mary's here in the first half. Again, we're going to have a good one as our 5th and final game of the day coming up after the conclusion of this one. 2 public school powers in North 1, Group 2. The Lockhorns, Ramsey taking on Elmwood Park. 2 teams that have won plenty of games so far this season. That's going to be our 5th and final game of the day here from inside East Gymnasium. Saw a great one to start off the action as Westwood held on to a 1-point win over Emerson. Then in our second game, Ridgewood outlasted Demarest in that second half and pulled away after Demarest took a brief lead in the third quarter. Ridgewood went on to win. Pascack Hills was in control in the third game of the day. Held on for dear life at the very end after Fort Lee made a valiant push and got to within 3 after being down by as many as 12 in the fourth. And now this is game number 4 as St. Mary's and Dwight Englewood locking horns here in this non-public showdown. 3:36 left to go in the second quarter. Bland will be triggering the restart as the inbounder. Bland finding a cutter inside the lane. Nearly turned it over as Dwight Englewood still having it, and now a turnover as Bland moved his pivot foot and travels right in front of us. 3:31 left to go in the first half. Now St. Mary's will take over back on offense, leading by 8, 23-15. Now with the screen set up in front of him was L.J. Falcone, but he turns it over, and it leads to the transition hoop for Evan Brown. Brown with 4 points in the game, 23-17. Demir Stone going to motion his offense, give himself a little more space to operate as Torres trying to carve out some space underneath on the near side block. That's going to be a foul whistled against Dwight Englewood from behind. For the Bulldogs, that's going to be their 6th team foul. They have no more fouls to give here for the remainder of the first half. Torres will have the inbound. Stone seems to be fine after suffering what looked to be an ankle injury early on in the first quarter. Give and go on the baseline. Stone gets stuffed at the rim there. Clean rejection by Jackson Burke. Good defense in the interior there for Dwight Englewood. Bulldogs trying to pull closer. They trail by 6. Weaving his way to the rim, but leaving that one short was number 20, Jack Park. St. Mary's in the open floor. Gaccione across the lane, hangs up in the air with Burke trying to trail behind him. Gaccione knew exactly where to put it. High off the glass and in. Gaccione now with a game-high 9. Brown on the baseline. Try to reverse it, and the ensuing putback was fouled in the act of shooting from Miles Bland. Brown might have gotten away with an extra step underneath the hoop as well. And then his teammate Miles Bland, the senior, came in and got the offensive rebound, got fouled on his way up with 2:03 left to go here in the first half. Bland gets that one to drop. First point of the game here for Miles. In and out on the second attempt. St. Mary's leads by 7. Here's a corner 3 in transition, no good. Stone skies high for the board. Another long-range 3. This time it's knocked down by Luke Gaccione. Second made 3 of the half. 12 points now for number 10 in white. He's the leading scorer for both teams. Now a steal produced by Stone. Stone going down the other way, and that's going to be an offensive foul as Balakian sacrificed his body and saw that Stone was a little out of control. Good play defensively there by Dwight Englewood. 28-18, 1:33 left to go until halftime. Dwight Englewood being held to only 8 points in this quarter. They were held to 10 points total in the first quarter. And that pass goes out of bounds. Balakian could not track it down, and nor could Miles Bland. His defense has just kept Dwight Englewood off balance so far in this game. As we come up on the final minute of the first half, St. Mary's on top by 10, 28-18. Gaccione. Good separation, takes the jumper, missing. Rebounded by Burke. 1 minute remaining in the first half. Balakian tries to get a step, and that might be a goaltend. They're going to count the bucket after didn't look like it was going to be going in. But then one of the players for St. Mary's actually hit the backboard with the ball on the backboard, so count the bucket for Balakian. He's got 10 points here in the first half for the Bulldogs. (28-20), the lead for St. Mary's. Long range three, no good by Falcone. Offensive rebound yet again for St. Mary's, and it's going to be a foul before the basket would count for Demir Stone. Looks like a hand check call, and it's going to be foul shot opportunities here. 1-1 as St. Mary's has now entered into the single bonus. 39.5 seconds left to go here in the second quarter, and that'll send Demir Stone to the line where he's 2 for 2. Now 3 for 3, 7 points in the half. Second foul shot is also good for Stone. He's up to 8 points in the first half. Under 40 seconds left to go, back to a 10-point advantage for St. Mary's. Going right at the rim, but missing the layup was Sama. Now Bland trying to throw it back up. Burke now camped out underneath. He's stripped with the possession. Dwight Englewood scrambling here to save possession on offense. Brown comes away with it. 18 seconds left to go in the half. Balakian tries to curl inside the foul line, gets called for the extra step. And that time, Dwight Englewood just a little too helter-skelter. They were rushing to try to find an opportunity, and St. Mary's there with them every step of the way. Final shot opportunity of the half you'd expect here for St. Mary's, leading by 10, 6 on the shot. That's going to be an offensive foul against Gaccione. Ryan Gaccione, the head man for St. Mary's, not a happy camper. Offensive foul against Luke Gaccione. He had the clear push-off. St. Mary's in their sideline, incredulous at the call. Not a one-on-one situation, just simply an inbounds upcoming here for Dwight Englewood. Balakian's been the leading scorer for the Bulldogs. He'll have one last chance here. Splits the defense, but had that layup attempt to end the half lip off the front of the rim. And that's how we will end our first 16 minutes of play. St. Mary's will take a 10-point lead with them into their halftime as the Gales lead Dwight Englewood by a score of 30-20. Stick around as we'll be back for the start of the second half of play as you're watching game number 4 of our five-game coverage of this Bergen County Showcase event coming up here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody, inside East Gymnasium here at Fort Lee High School, where at the half, in game number 4, St. Mary's of Rutherford leads Dwight Englewood by a score of 30-20. St. Mary's outscored Dwight Englewood 14-10 in the first quarter, and then a 16-10 margin in the second quarter. Taking a look at the stats from the first half of play, Luke Gaccione is the high scorer with 12 points in that first half, around his per-game average for the Gales. Tamir Stone behind him with 8 points in the half. Julian Lavelle and Victor Torres each with 4 points apiece, and Caleb Brown adding a bucket as well. For Dwight Englewood on the other side, for the Bulldogs, a team that's been starved for offensive points, it's been Nick Balakian with 10 points leading the charge for the Bulldogs. Evan Brown with 4, Raymond Valdez and Jackson Burke with 2 points apiece, and Addison Leak and Miles Bland each with 1 point. St. Mary's with members of the Bergen County Jamboree Committee in attendance, trying to maybe state their case for a higher seed in their minds. Go to 13-2 on the year with the win here against Dwight Englewood, and the Bulldogs, they just want to stop the bleeding right now this part of the season. They've lost 3 in a row after beginning the year 8-3 on the year, and they know they have a gauntlet awaiting them in their next 2 games against Bergen Catholic on Tuesday in Oradell, and then they'll travel to Hudson Catholic on the 30th. I'm Dan Long, so honored to be the voice of this Bergen County Showcase event here on the Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. We have covered the first 3 games of the day. This is game number 4. We'll have coverage of the 5th and final game of the day coming up after the conclusion of this one, as Ramsey will take on Elmwood Park. Renee Matisich has been to my right, in charge of all the camera work, while Dimitri Nanis has been our producer. Thank Mike Raftery, the athletic director here at Fort Lee, for his support of these streaming broadcasts. Torres got tied up underneath. And are they going to whistle a foul? It will be a holding foul against Dwight Englewood. So the first foul of the second half goes against Dwight Englewood. Up and under move, Gaccione denied by Burke. Burke waited him out and blocked away the shot. Now for the near side, here's Bland. Bland lost his footing but did not travel. There's Bland getting it right back and firing it home. So Bland does a good job of avoiding the turnover, got it right back and quickly fired it up for the long-range jumper. He's got 3 points in the game. Dwight Englewood starting with the first basket of the second half. 30-22 lead now for St. Mary's. Lavelle cutting through as the seas parted, but he missed on the layup. Burke tipped it over to himself a couple times and eventually got the secured rebound. Salma getting it up top, Balakian. Stone extending the defense. Over to the near side, layup left short. That's last touch out of bounds off of Dwight Englewood. Possession will go back over now to St. Mary's. 30-22. The lead for the Gales. They led 30-20 at halftime. Across the lane, blocked shot. Falcone still has not gotten on the scoreboard yet in this game. Brown, hard take to the rim, no call. Referees feeling like that was a flop. They let them play, as now it's 6:21 left to go here in the third. Gaccione was trying to set up a potential charge call against Evan Brown. It looks like a timeout taken on the floor right now here as St. Mary's in front, 30-22. St. Mary's with the possession here. 6:21 left to go in the third quarter. Offense has been hard to come by for Dwight Englewood. They started off the second half with the first bucket. Now their defense trying to turn over St. Mary's. Got it along the near baseline. Now up top, Gaccione. Can't shake past his defender. Good seal underneath. Stone passed up the opportunity to layup attempt. Stone will take the three. Halfway down, in and out. Gaccione, though, deflects it off of Dwight Englewood. Out of bounds, last touch off of the foot of Jack Sama. Heady play there by the junior guard. Stone had his three-point look go halfway down, but rattle in and out. Here's Stone for the near side, watched by Sama. There's going to be a foul whistled underneath against Dwight Englewood. Evan Brown picking up the foul. Second team foul of the second half now for Dwight Englewood. Falcone averages just under 10 points per game. Again, scoreless in this contest. Stone spun around the defender, left it short. Tipped away, and once again, last touch off of Sama. So possession once again, a long possession at that, will stay here on this end of the floor for St. Mary's. 5:31 left to go in the third. Inbound, stolen away by Sama. Here comes Jack Sama, the senior, the other way for Dwight Englewood. He's just going to take it coast to coast, and it's an offensive foul whistled against the Bulldogs, number 4. Already, Dwight Englewood has committed 3 team fouls, and we're less than 3 minutes into the start of the second half. Sama did a good job of securing the possession underneath the hoop, but then was trying to do just a little too much. Trying to go coast to coast with it. St. Mary's is yet to score. We're coming up on 3 minutes gone by here in the second half. Stone hard to the lane. Got it stripped on his way up. Last touch out of bounds by Dwight Englewood. Quick catch and fire, and Gaccione knocks it down. His first 2 points of the second half. It took 3 minutes, but St. Mary's on the board, and it still gets back its 10-point margin that it enjoyed at halftime. Dwight Englewood has not benefited from that scoring drought to start the second half. 3 off the mark to the near side by Bland, and once again, it's going to be a reach-in foul against Dwight Englewood. And for the Bulldogs, they already now have committed 4 fouls in the opening moments of the third quarter. That means it's going to be a lot of foul shots coming our way for St. Mary's as well. Curling inside, got caught in midair, and that's going to be a travel against the Gales. Four and a half minutes left to go in the third. Both teams have only generated 2 points each to start off the second half. Nice move there by Balakian. He extended the ball out a bit so he would not get a shot blocked, and he had the great angle play to kiss it high off the glass. Balakian now leading Dwight Englewood with 12 points in the game. He's got half of his team's total. Back to an 8-point deficit. Gaccione, he has the shooting touch there. Gaccione with the teardrop, 16 points in the game for number 10. His season high was 24 points in a win against Hasbrook Heights on December 20th. Might think about eclipsing that mark today. Balakian missing. Follow-up attempt by Burke also off the mark. Jump ball situation, and possession arrow will favor Dwight Englewood. St. Mary's will next be in action on Tuesday at home against Woodridge. Worked around the perimeter to the far side. Now here's a kick out, high arcing 3 by Brown, in and out. Stone got an initial piece of the rebound, and Play kept alive here, and here come the Gales of St. Mary's. They pull it back out. Just over 3 minutes left to go in the quarter. 10-point lead. Stone across the lane, missed on the layup. St. Mary's very well could be up by as many as 20 points in this game if they just finished a couple of these layups. Torres did a great job of sealing off his defender underneath. That allowed a driving lane inside for Stone. Stone missed the layup, but Torres was right there to pick up the offensive rebound and now have a chance to add to his point total. He's got 4 points in the game. Torres misses on that foul shot. He's 0 for 3 today from the line. Torres frustrated with himself with another miss. 5 team fouls now against Dwight Englewood. Again, Torres missing on the foul shot. Bland with a rebound. All of the misses at the line for St. Mary's tonight have come courtesy of Torres. That's going to be a travel for Dwight Englewood. And just rushing things offensively, trying to find their way. 3:02 left to go here in the third quarter. Not a high-scoring game, to say the least, between these two non-public participants in the Bergen County Showcase. As Dwight Englewood again forces the turnover. Bergen doing a good job of getting a hand in the passing lane. Going high in the air was Burke. Torres disrupted that shot. Got the ensuing rebound. Under 2.5 minutes left to go in the third. Long range three. Gaccioni trying to will that one in with body language. He left the shot short. Around the horn now to Burke. Burke trying to take Torres off the dribble, reversing it underneath. Park getting it back to Burke. Burke waiting out Torres. He got fouled on his way up. Good give-and-go offense there between Jackson Burke and Jack Park. And eventually, it led to the shot opportunity and the foul, as Jackson Burke will go up for the 2 foul shot opportunity now. Burke with 2 points in the game. As Burke knocks down the first foul shot. Burke knocks down a pair. He's got 4 points in the game now. 34-26, lead for St. Mary's. Led by as many as 10 in the first half, and now that shot missed at the rim. Dwight Englewood just sticking around, though. They're within striking distance, and Lakian was trying to take it coast to coast. He shows off his speed, but a foul was whistled before that basket would count. Foul on the floor. Shot from up top, and that's knocked in. And now a quick timeout taken by, looks like St. Mary's, or it might have been Dwight Englewood. Could not see. It's 34-29 after that last shot made here in the third quarter. After that last three-pointer was made by Balakian, St. Mary's now trying to will their way to the rim, and that's going to be left short. Momentum starting to swing over to Dwight Englewood's side, 34-29. Across the lane, Burke drawing the contact, and Dwight Englewood being aggressive, getting to the foul line, and getting an opportunity to pull closer with the time stopped as well. Jackson Burke has started to really impose himself here in the third quarter. Burke missing on the foul shot. First miss at the line here tonight. He's 2 for 3. Nick Balakian, 15 points, leading scorer for Dwight Englewood. Burke rattles that one in and out. Bland's with the offensive putback and one. All hustle there by Miles Bland, the senior. And just like that, this is a 3-point lead for St. Mary's. Dwight Englewood's defense have held the Gales to only 4 total points scored in this quarter. We have ourselves a brand new ball game as Bland completes the 3-point play. He's got 6 points on the night. 34-32. Here comes Dwight Englewood. Their benches come alive as well, and it's an offensive foul whistled against St. Mary's. And after there was a big foul discrepancy to start off this quarter between both teams, as Dwight Englewood had committed a lot of fouls, now it's even out, and it's 5 fouls apiece. So again, a lot of fouls here in the third quarter alone. It's going to mean a lot of foul shots coming up here in the fourth quarter. Under a minute left to go, and Dwight Englewood could possibly take the lead with a 3. And that's going to be an offensive foul whistled against Evan Brown. St. Mary's was waiting for him. They set him up on that take to the rim. 6-team foul against Dwight Englewood. They have no fouls to give for the remainder of this game. 34-32. Stone pulls it out. Going for the play. St. Mary's hold for one final shot of the quarter. Now Cody gets stripped from behind. A turnover forced by the Bulldogs. Here comes Dwight Englewood in the open floor. Brown to the right-hand side. And we are tied at 34 all. Dwight Englewood has come back from a 10-point halftime deficit to tie the score up. Stone, step back three. He cans it right in the face of Balakian. And Demir Stone knocks down the big long-range 3 to give St. Mary's a 3-point lead heading into the start of the fourth quarter of play. Just when Dwight Englewood thought that they were going to have the game tied heading into the fourth, a big step-back 3 by Demir Stone. For Stone, he now has 11 points in the game, and it's a 37-34 lead for St. Mary's heading to the fourth quarter. Don't go anywhere, fans, as we have an exciting one on the horizon here in game number 4 of this Bergen County Showcase. Luke Gagioni with 12, Demir Stone with 11. They're the 2 leading scorers for St. Mary's. Dwight Englewood being led by the 15 points of Nick Balakian. Will he get some help in this fourth quarter? The deficit is only 3. 37-34, Dwight Englewood trailed by 10 at halftime, 30-20. The defense has come to play in the second half. Again, both teams' fouls going to be a concern. 16 fouls against Dwight Englewood, 5 for St. Mary's as we're underway at the start of the fourth quarter. Stone across the lane was trying to force feed that one underneath to Torres. Got it stolen away by Brown. Balakian handing it off to Brown. Screens being set in front. Hard screens on the perimeter. Here's Balakian. At 5 of his 15 in the game in that third quarter. Dwight Englewood has only connected on one made three in this entire game, and there's going to be a travel by Jack Park. Sophomore trying to do a little too much cutting across the middle of the lane. Turns it over. Possession will go back over to St. Mary's. Gales trying to extend their win streak to 3 in a row. Trying to go to 13-2 on the season. Up top, Gaccioni for 3. Brown snatches down the rebound. Closest man to him was his teammate Bland. A minute into the fourth quarter. Shaping up to be a good one here between these two non-public teams. We're meeting surprisingly for the first time since 2013. Here's Bland, open for 3. Try to tie the score up. Burke falling to his backside. And now loose whistle here. As checking in on the health of Torres. Torres seems to be okay. He was wrapped up and entangled with number 15, Jackson Burke. I'm going to say officially that incidental contact as St. Mary's was trying to argue for maybe a foul. Now on the far side, Falcone getting it up top to Demir Stone. Stone will back it up. 6:20 and counting left to go here in the fourth quarter. Cutting across the middle lane was Caleb Brown. Nearly got tied up on the play. Falcone open for 3. No good. Torres gets high for the rebound. Gets fouled on his way up. And Victor Torres, the 6'8 junior center, who's got 4 points in the game, will head to the line after getting hacked, after crashing the offensive boards. Seventh-team foul against Dwight Englewood. As Torres, that time, sinks his first made foul shot of the game. 1 for 5 at the line. Torres now up to 5 points this afternoon. Second foul shot no good as Stone tried to tip it forward. 38-34, St. Mary's in front by 4. 2 minutes gone by here in the fourth quarter. Dwight Englewood in the blue, St. Mary's in the white. Three-point shot, knocked down right in front of the Dwight Englewood sideline by Nick Balakian. His second made 3 of the game, only the second made 3 for Dwight Englewood in this contest, and the lead is 1, 38-37. Over the far side, and that's going to be a traveling violation against Demir Stone. So after St. Mary's seemingly had this one well in control, now a traveling violation gives the possession back over to Dwight Englewood with a chance for the Bulldogs to take the lead. Sama. Over to the near side, and that's going to be a travel against Brown. Wasted opportunity there for Dwight Englewood. 38-37, St. Mary's leads. Dwight Englewood has not led in this game since early in the second quarter. Stone's pass deflected. Lavelle was trying to get to it, but a backcourt violation whistled against the Gales. So the offense has considerably dried up now for St. Mary's. They had 30 points at halftime. They have 38 points total. with 5:09 left to go here in the fourth quarter. They've scored a grand total of 8 points in the second half, yet still surprisingly lead by 1. Give and go on the baseline. 2 different Dwight Englewood players were in the vicinity, but cashing in was Evan Brown. Brown with 8 points, and Dwight Englewood has roared all the way back to take the lead. Stone pull-up mid-range jumper. It's good. Stone with now 13 points for St. Mary's, and now St. Mary's has taken back the lead at 40-39. A timeout taken with under 5 minutes left to go in regulation in this back-and-forth game between the Gales and the Bulldogs here on Fort Lee Athletics YouTube channel. (40-39), St. Mary's on top of Dwight Englewood. 4:43 left to go in regulation. Our first game of the day was a 1-point finish. A win for Westwood over Emerson. Ridgewood coasted to a second-half victory against Demarest after Demarest had an early lead early in the third. Double-digit victory for the Maroons. Fort Lee was down by 12 late in their game, came back to within as close as 3, but fell by 4 to Pascack Hills, and now here is our fourth game of the day. It's been a good one. St. Mary's and Dwight Englewood going toe-to-toe. Inside, that time, the and one bucket for Burke. Jackson Burke receiving that one on the far block. Weathered the contact, put it up and in, and a chance now at a three-point play, and a chance to further the lead and widen it to 2. 16 foul against St. Mary's, so now the Gales don't have any more fouls to give. And Burke missing on the foul shot. He's missed on his last 3 at the line. He's 2 for 5. And now it's going to be a foul against Evan Brown. And that'll make it 1-1, and will send Demir Stone back to the line with a chance to tie and even give his team back the lead. 4:24 left to go, and again, this is what we expected. So many fouls accumulated by both teams in the third quarter. It's going to lead to a foul shooting contest. Stone swishing home that foul shot. He's got 14 in the game. It's a perfect 5 for 5 at the foul line. That foul was committed right at midcourt, too. There's the broadcaster Jinx looming large after applauding his 5 for 5 start to the game. Demir Stone misses his first foul shot. Deadens the game at 41. Stone nearly forced the turnover coming from behind. And now a timeout granted to coach Alex Kuchar. Wants to save possession for his Dwight Englewood Bulldogs team. 41-41 as we're coming up on the midway point of the fourth quarter. Here inside East Gymnasium. Tie ball game, 41-41. St. Mary's led 14-10 after 1, led 30-20 after 2. It's only a 3-point lead after 3. That was because of a 3 at the buzzer by Demir Stone. Dwight Englewood has taken the lead back a couple times in this game. Now the game is deadlocked at 41 all. Here's Nick Balakian, 18 points in the game for Balakian. offensive foul, a moving screen against Dwight Englewood. 9th team foul against the Bulldogs. Costly there, right out of the timeout. Past the midway point of the fourth quarter. Here's Stone trying to take over. Passing it off on the baseline. Here's straightaway three. Knocked down by Luke Gaccione. Third three of the game for the junior point guard. He's got 19 points now for St. Mary's. Pass down low. Bland threw that one away. So out of the timeout when it was 41-41, Dwight Englewood has a moving screen, and now they turn it away and turn it over. They're going to say no. It was a deflection off of St. Mary's, so Dwight Englewood benefits there from that call. Look, from our vantage point, that was a clean turnover. Round right into the defender, no good. Torres wins the jump ball, comes down with a loose ball rebound. And there's going to be a foul again against Dwight Englewood, and again at midcourt. I can understand trying to ratchet up your defense, but that's now twice that they have fouled, and that has now sent St. Mary's to the foul line. That's the 10th team foul, so double bonus the rest of the way as Luke Gaccione tries to continue on a big performance. Gaccione up to 20 points in the game. Again, his season high 24 against Hasbrook Heights. Gaccione, 21 points. He's been money at the line, 4 made foul shots in 4 attempts. 5-0 spurt for number 10. 46-41. He's the difference so far in this game, 5 straight. After it was a 41-41 game, another steal forced by St. Mary's. Gaccione, ambitious effort on that bounce pass, trying to get it at the feet of Torres. Even if he snuck it through, it's going to be a tough ball to handle for a 6'8" big man. Possession will stay here with St. Mary's. 2:57 left to go in the game. Up top to LJ Falcone. Hands it over to Demir Stone. 2:45 left to go. Stone trying to pass it down underneath. Torres gets it blocked, but he recovers it himself, and Torres with a huge bucket to lay it in. 7-0 run by St. Mary's have taken a 48-41 lead. A timeout for Dwight Englewood, 2:29 remaining. And St. Mary's inching closer and closer to a 13-2 start to the season. It was a 41-41 game just moments ago, but again, back-to-back turnovers for Dwight Englewood. They had a moving screen, and then they missed out on an opportunity. St. Mary's taking over. Luke Gaccione had hit a 3, and also got 2 foul shots that he converted on, and then Victor Torres most recently at the follow-up layup after having an initial shot blocked at the rim. And stick around for our 5th and final game of the afternoon, as we're going to have a good one between Ramsey and Elmwood Park in our 5th and final game of this Bergen County Showcase event. Long day of basketball coverage here from inside Fort Lee's East Gymnasium. Dwight Englewood running out of time, 2:29 left to go in regulation. They trailed by as many as 10 at the break. And that's going to be a reach-in foul by Demir Stone, and Stone, by getting called for the foul, stops the clock and also commits the team's 7th team foul. So that's exactly what Dwight Englewood would have hoped for. Get to the foul line and have a chance to pull closer. Malakian will be the man at the line. He's got 18 in the game, 1-1. And Malakian swishes home that first foul shot. His first foul shot attempt of the game. He's got 19 now. Malakian gets the free throws to fall. 20 points for number 2. 48-43, St. Mary's on top of Dwight and Englewood. Bulldogs trying to avoid losing their 4th consecutive game in a row, knowing that they have a matchup in Oradell against Bergen Catholic awaiting them on Tuesday. St. Mary's trying to extend their win streak to 3 straight on the year and go to 13-2 and maybe push them closer and closer to one of those top 2 potential seeds in North Non-Public B. Gaccione getting it back up top. Lavelle. Now Stone picking up. Lavelle will pull it back out. Little time wasting going on here for St. Mary's. They're playing keep away. Inside is Stone. Stone will pull it back out to Gaccione. Gaccione again wasting some time, approaching the final 90 seconds. Shot off balance. Bland tried to take the charge. That time got hit low with Stone. He's behind the play. Brown missing on the layup. Burke will cash in on the offensive glass. Stone still behind the play. He was writhing in pain. 3-point lead for St. Mary's coming up on the final minute of regulation. Gaccione. And will it be a bump call against Balakian, as Gaccione was close to calling for a timeout? Got the benefit of the foul call instead. Double bonus, so it's going to be 2 shots for Luke Gaccione. And he swishes home the foul shot. The luxury of having an exquisite foul shooter at the line in clutch situations. Luke Gaccione, 5 for 5 at the foul line here tonight. 49-45, 4-point lead. Pushes it up to 5-point lead. 23 points in the game for Gaccione. 50-45. Dwight Englewood trying to pull closer here. Sama hands it off to Balakian. Balakian has been the high scorer for Dwight Englewood with 20 in the game. He gets rejected away by Torres, but a foul whistled before that against St. Mary's. A bump foul on the shot, and that'll send Nick Balakian to the line, shooting 2 with 52.2 seconds left to go in regulation. Balakian drains the first foul shot. 21 points now for number 2. 3 for 3 at the line. Balakian again, he's automatic at the foul line as well. 4 for 4, all in this 4th quarter. 3-point deficit for Dwight Englewood. 50-47, Stone getting it over to Falcone. Again, St. Mary's is in the double bonus. Lavelle tries to split the double team, reach in foul, charge against Dwight Englewood. Julian Lavelle will now head to the line, shooting 2. Time stop with 38 seconds left to go in regulation. Might have been the 5th foul for Jack Sama. He'll come off the floor, get a round of applause from his Dwight Englewood fans behind the bench. Sama is done for the Knights. Jack Park in the game for him. His foul shot is short. Still remains a 1-possession game, 50-47. 38.2 seconds left to go. Second foul shot is good. 5 points in the game now for Julian Lavelle. That'll be a timeout taken. 38.2 seconds left to go in regulation. 4-point lead for St. Mary's. Again, fans, as a reminder, join us if you want for the 5th and final game of the day. Ramsey taking on Elmwood Park in a matchup of 2 teams that have done quite well for themselves throughout the course of this season in North 1 Group 2. That's a matchup of Ramsey and Elmwood Park coming up next in our 5th and final game of this Bergen County Showcase event. You could watch that one at the separate broadcast link for game number 5. St. Mary's has led for the majority of this game after Dwight Englewood started off early on. Last time that Dwight Englewood was leading, I have to think, early on in the fourth quarter. They had taken the lead, but St. Mary's has wrestled back control. St. Mary's led after the first and second quarters, as well as the third after a three-pointer hit by Demir Stone at the buzzer. Balakian with his team down by 4, going hard to the rim, gets around and left the shot short, but also got contacted on his way up. And now Balakian, who again has been automatic at the foul line, got hit in the head, and that gives him a chance to pull closer with only 31 seconds left to go on the scoreboard. And Balakian swishes home the foul shot. 23 points in the game now for number 2. Trying to make this a 2-point lead for St. Mary's. Balakian does just that. He's the man you don't want to foul. All of his foul shots have fallen here. He's 6 for 6 in the fourth quarter. Balakian forced to foul quickly. And again, on the other side, you don't want to foul this man, Luke Gaccione. As he'll head to the foul line, now shooting 2. And did Balakian just foul out, and that is a costly foul out for Dwight Englewood. Their leading scorer in the game with 24. Looks like his afternoon is done. Gaccione. He's got 24 points. He's been perfect at the line as well in this game. 7 for 7 at the foul line. Missed. Hope is still alive. Stolen away, though, by Gaccione and St. Mary's. That was the miss that they were so desperately hoping for if you're Dwight Englewood. But somehow, some way, St. Mary's got to it, made the hustle play, and now have put themselves in a position here to really salt this one away. Gaccione now at the foul line. Just had his first miss, makes amends, and rattles in that one. Eight of 9 at the line now for Gaccione. 25 points. Season high in points now for Luke. 9 of 10. Silky smooth foul shooting. He's got a game high 26. Lead is 5. 54-49, under 20 seconds left to go in the contest. Park giving it over to Brown. Brown across the lane, hangs in the air, fires, misses. Tries to bring in his loose ball rebound. Gaccione gets fouled, and he'll make his way down the other end of the floor as St. Mary's about to come away with a victory here at this Bergen County Showcase event. It improved to 13-2 on the season. Again, big power points here for the Gales. It's that foul shot. 10 of 11 at the line, 27 points in the game. Second foul shot, no good. Dwight Englewood trying one final shot, no good. Tip out Falcone with the rebound, and St. Mary's will hold on to win by a final score of 55-49. Dwight Englewood fought back and took the lead early in the fourth quarter, but St. Mary's had the finishing touches of that one. With the win, St. Mary's will improve to 13-2 on the season. Dwight Englewood with the loss will fall to 8-7. Next time out for St. Mary's, they'll be home to host Woodridge, while Dwight Englewood will travel to Bergen Catholic on Tuesday night. So that'll do it for our fourth game of this showcase event. Stick around for our fifth and final game as Elmwood Park will be taking on Ramsey coming up next on a separate broadcast link. So for Renee Matisich and Dimitri Nanis, I'm Dan Long saying so long and take care from East Gymnasium.